welcome back to my channel. If you are new here and like the video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more content. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, I thought I would surprise you with a random LevYaku one-shot that isn't even on the layout for December. And yes, this is actually a one-shot, and it's fluff. Sort of. This piece was quite of an experiment, and I also had the free time. This will also be the fluff given to you to basically just be the only fluff for LevYaku for quite a bit because of the upcoming You Are My Mother 2 Part 13 on December 24th. Wait, that's Christmas Eve. I don't think I planned that well. But let's just go ahead and get to this. Yes! It was Lev's first day attending Nakama, and also his first day playing for the boys' volleyball team. Oddly enough, he made the team with no prior experience. His height was just an extreme advantage that the team was willing to work with. Lev never minded. It was nice having something to do after school. He never bothered to remember any faces during tryouts, being too focused on trying to not make a fool out of himself. So it was like he first caught a glimpse of the libero once the captain introduced the two. Alright, Lev, this is a fellow third year, our libero, Yaku. Lev's rushing green eyes connected instantly to the smallest hazelnut ones. For only a slight moment, it was as if time itself had stopped and it was only those two in the gym. The sound of balls hitting the floor and the squeaking of volleyball shoes skidding on the court and even the captain's obnoxious laughing seemed far away, almost non-existent. A wave of warmth and comfort washed over him, and not that stuffy kind you get in the boys' locker room. This was an unexplainable warmth, nor did it need to be explained. He'll be the one teaching you how to receive. Hi, Yaku-san. He cleared his throat, almost certain that his voice cracked at some point in that sentence. Hello, Lev. So, how much do you know about receiving? About that? You know nothing? Kudo broke into another round of laughter, sending Lev into a pit of embarrassment. While it was true, it didn't need to be announced to the world. He wouldn't be surprised if the competing teams heard that. Noticing this, Yaku sighed. Well, there's no helping it. I suppose everyone starts from somewhere. Yaku held out his hand. If we work together, you should be in great shape before our first game, especially with that height. The middle blocker smiled, taking his hand, feeling sparks ignite in the pad of his fingertips. This was going to be interesting. Lev was in the shower. Feeling exhausted, he sat down at the bottom of the tub with the shower still running. He watched as those drops of water would beat down onto his bare skin before they fell down. It was a satisfying work of art that he could stare at and ponder for days on end. In just the week that Lev had known Yaku, he's made one note about the libero. He was a book, bursting with jokes, secrets, and sweet words, but they were all kept locked away with many walls enforced about the book. Yaku reminded the Russian of a white flower. When that flower gets wet, it becomes more transparent with regret and loss. He wonders if it's a dew that made the flower wet, or rather, the libero's tears. The Libero would smile in his cunning way, deceiving everyone in broad daylight. But not Lev. Lev knew that he was gay and had known for years even, while he was still in the closet. That never stopped the feelings that he felt. One thing was for sure. Lev fell in love with the Libero. He stood up from the bottom of the tub and continued on with the shower, already planning how to deceive everyone of his own love. It was after a practice, already a month into being on the team. While Lev did his best to keep his distance, it was hard whenever Yaku was basically his personal coach. And with time, the shorter was able to soften his facade and let Lev in a bit more than prior times. The burning passion of his love started from a small ember, but sparked once their fingers touched one another. Now it was a burning inferno, sending a wave of feelings he'd never recognized before. He developed crushes all of the time and they would fade away. This was no different, right? No matter how many times he said that internally, it was obvious the way his heart would skip a beat seeing that beautiful smile of the latter's. So, Lev. Yes, Yaku-san? Even the way his name was said sent chills up his spine, and you could feel his ears burning. Do you have a girlfriend? That was an absolute hilarious question. His own crush was asking if he was seeing someone. While he wasn't publicly out, it was still an interesting question. Nah, I don't have time for any of that. What about you? He laughed. Not anymore. Right before you showed up, I got out of a nasty relationship with my ex. Looking back, it's probably because I spent so much time at the gym for volleyball. The taller clenched his jaw. She sounds like a douchebag. He laughed to lighten the mood. Well, they're actually a he. Lev paused. Did he hear that right? He turned to look at the Libero, who was smiling. You... The older laughed, seeing the latter's perplexed expression, sending the butterflies in the taller stomach to go on a rampage. Yeah, I'm bisexual. Yaku stilled, seeing the taller's expression not change. Is that a problem? No, that's good. I just... Did he have the courage? Could he? I've never told anyone this, but... Yaku sat back, patiently waiting on him while the middle blocker seemed to be fidgeting with his fingers. I'm gay. His voice was so small, the Libero didn't hear him. What was that? I'm gay. But please, don't tell my sister. She wouldn't understand. Yaku has seen the older woman at practice matches and was well acquainted with her as she was a very friendly girl. Is she homophobic? Lev thought on that. I don't know. Our parents are never home, so it was my sister that raised me for the most part. Her opinion is everything to me. He smiled sadly, with his white locks dancing in the wind, even his green eyes creased in a torn look. I don't think I can bear a negative response. Yaku didn't know how to respond to that. Instead, he grabbed the middle blocker's hand and offered a reassuring squeeze. It'll be okay. No matter what you decide to do, just know that I'll support you. This beautiful sentiment made the back of his eye sting. Thank you. Truly. It was cold out. It was the unbearable weather in between the season of fall and winter. So the rain that followed would feel like ice pellets entering your skin with a strong wind that sounded like daggers in mid-flight. Luckily, it seemed the rain had yet to begin, although the deep dark clouds told him that it wasn't far until the sky will let loose. It was late in the afternoon. Lev was walking to the gym to meet up with Yaku for extra practice on the weekend. After entering the gym, he peeled layers of clothing from him. Being inside the gym was much warmer than outside. Including the fact that Yaku made him feel warm inside with his heart pounding a million miles an hour. Hey Lev, do you mind helping me with getting the equipment out? He smiled, hearing the smaller in the storage closet. Alright, Yaku-san. He chuckled, throwing his bag off of his shoulder, running into the closet, accidentally knocking the object holding the door open. Wait, that... He was interrupted with the door slamming shut. Oops. That's okay, we can just... He twisted the handle, all in vain. Yaku sighed. The door locks when it's closed. That's why it was held open. So, we are locked in. Precisely. Lev's cheeks flushed involuntarily, and he hated it. He should be focused on trying to get out or calling for help, but he couldn't help but think that he was stuck in a small storage room with his crush. Yaku slumped to the ground. There isn't much we can do. My phone is out there. Oh, I have mine. He reached for his bag before remembering he threw it against the wall just before. Never mind. He slid down the locked door, hiding his head into his hands. I'm sorry, Yaku-san. Yaku laughed underneath his breath. Don't worry about it. It happens. This isn't the first time anyways. So much for getting some practice in, though. They both laughed at the whole situation when the first pitter-patters of the rain fell from the sky onto the tin roof of the gym. They both made small talk, realizing that it would be a while before the two would get out. Hey, Lev? He hummed. Have you ever been in love? The taller froze. How did they always end up talking about their love life? In a way, yes, I suppose so. The brunette's eyebrows shot up, but didn't push any further with that. What do you think love means? Lev laughed. Wouldn't you know? Well, I thought I did, but don't we all during those short, blissful moments? That's what he was afraid that this was, but his heart pounding against his chest told him otherwise. Well, I think being in love would be different to what I believe. Now I'm intrigued. Tell me, O wise one. He teased, nudging his elbow into the ladder's side after scooting closer. How funny. Well, I think there is love, which is something we automatically turn to when we are blinded by all of the bad because we are in love. There's that, and unconditional love. Then what is unconditional love? Lev looked up, hearing the rain increase its downfall on them. Unconditional love. Well, it's like truly loving someone so much that I would love them even if they didn't love me anymore. He turned to face the Libro, whose hazel eyes shined like the stars itself for his gaze, wide with wonder and love. That's a beautiful thought. I hope that you find someone like that. Love dared to scoot closer to the Libro. A strike of lightning knocked the power out, but they didn't pay any mind to that, staring deeply into each other's eyes. They were both blind and deaf to the world around them. I think I have. There was a sharp intake of air from Yaku. The closer he got to him, it was the more breathless he got. Yaku raised himself up, pressing his lips against the middle blockers, knocking the suspenseful tension out of the air. He only prayed that the person Love was speaking of was him, or else that would be humiliating. But the response he got told him that he didn't need to worry about humiliation. Lev pulled Yaku by the waist onto his lap, breaking the kiss and holding him close. Can you hear it? Yaku was confused until Lev's hand pressed against the back of his head, forcing his ear to the taller's chest. There, he heard his heart thumping at a dangerously quick rate. You make me a mess. I love you, Yaku-san. Yaku laughed at the mere luck he had. You're too precious. He grabbed the middle blocker's hand and dragged it to his own chest, revealing his own pounding heart. My heart is about to explode. They laughed, getting lost in the honeymoon stage of their love with the rain pounding on the gym's roof. Lev smiled. And he fell for him. Just like raindrops. What is this? The Russian's brow creased towards her little brother. Somehow she had found out about the gym being locked and him liking boys. Lev felt a knot in his throat. He wasn't ready to face this yet. I fell in love with my teammate. I love him. She stayed eerily silent. I'm sorry I didn't say anything, but I was scared. I love him. When he looks at me, he doesn't know how incomplete I am. He sees me for what I am. He felt his own vision blur over his own tears. Don't make me leave him. Please don't hate me. His voice cracked before he broke down in front of his sister, repeatedly begging for his sister's support. She sighed, pulling her phone out and showing a picture from her album. It was a picture of her, but there was another girl. The most noticeable thing that he noticed was the girl was kissing his sister. This girl, she's my girlfriend. It seems we both had the same fear. I didn't want you to stop looking up to me because of who I loved. Lev couldn't help but laugh. I would say I'm disappointed that I didn't find out sooner, but that would be pretty hypocritical, don't you think? Does she treat you well? She smiled, her cheeks turning into a vibrant shade of pink. Like a precious gem. What about, what was his name? Yaku? Yes, he does. Like the only person in the world. Elisa grabbed her brother's hand. Why don't we have dinner? You'll invite Yaku and I'll invite Miwa. That way we can introduce each other. Lev smiled. I would love that. He was happy. His sister accepted him and even turned out to have the same secret as him. But he was in love. It was even mutual, which is a complete bonus. Unconditional love. He would run to the ends of the world for Yaku, and he knew the latter would feel the same. He was so scared of rejection, abandonment, loss, but there would have been nothing to show if he didn't try. He tried, and he prevailed. There you lovely people have it. It just started hardcore raining, so if you hear that in the background, just don't mind it. But I do say that fluff was needed. Fluff was definitely needed because the amount of angst I have given you is just... Here's your fluff. This will definitely be a good start before we pick back on the You Were My Mother 2 series, which that's when everything is just gonna go down. That is the 13th part called Dauntless Warriors that will be uploaded on Christmas Eve. And you guys have a nice rest of your day because you guys deserve it. All of you. Yes, you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like to be kept up to date, check out any of my social medias. I hope that you all have a wonderful day or evening.